We're just going to sit for about 30 minutes. So you often hear in meditation, let it all go. Let's try today, let it all in. So what does that mean? Just you sit down and is there something you're not letting into your experience that's here? You're just not letting it in. You're pushing it down, you're pushing it away. And don't think at a high level like some kind of story. Just like look through your body, hear the world, feel your body, see your mind, hear your mind. Just what is there, right? And just let it in. Let the sensations in your body be here. Let the sounds in your environment be here. Let them into your experience. So we sort of do that globally, and then we can sort of go through the senses one by one just to really check in. We can start with the hearing out in the world. Just let it in, and this requires a subtle awareness. Is there a way I'm not letting things in? Am I protecting myself from the outside world? And in the process of that, somehow sort of not being able to hear what's really here. And so we listen to the pitch. We find, we hear a noise and then we listen to it just as a sound. Don't worry what it is. The pitch of it, its location. And then the question is, can we let them all in, all the sounds around us, in from all directions? And even if there's no sound coming from some direction, can we open to the possibility of sound coming from that direction? From above and below, even behind us, in front of us, to the left and the right, near or very, very far. Can you open to sounds from way up in the sky or way down in the earth? Open to sounds way out over the city or the town or the countryside. And we let it in. We let in the world. If there's any part of your body that just actually gets shut down more when I say let in, then just add a little caveat. We're not going to let anything in that's actually dangerous. Okay. So we're just letting in everything that's safe and good. But we don't have to use the mind to analyze it. We're just going to only let in experiences that are safe. But really only worry about that if you're sort of noticing resistance to the instruction. Otherwise, we just let in everything. It's important to notice resistances to instructions. If you get an instruction from a guided meditation or a meditation teacher, and it actually sounds like something you don't want to do, that's very useful information. Now we're letting in all the feelings in our body. And so you can sort of just scan quickly. Are you willing to let in all the feelings of your feet and legs into your experience? Like let them just be there the way they are. Excuse me. all the feelings in your torso from the pelvic floor, your seat, all the way up through the abdomen and the solar plexus and the heart area and chest area and breast area, all the way around to the spine. Again, what does this mean to let in the experience? There's lots of reasons we don't let things in. We got a life to live. We have to pay attention to certain things. We can't be distracted. But also there's things that are uncomfortable, and there's things that habitually we've decided we don't want to feel or talk about, and there's lots and lots and lots of reasons for that. And you just sort of notice right now in this present moment, this is not a global thing like, oh, in my life I need to let in. No, it's like right now. What is here right now that you can let in to your experience? All the way up through the shoulders, down the arms, every sensation in the throat, the neck, and the face and head. And now it's just the whole body. We're just letting the whole body in to our experience. The whole, and body is just one word. It's the whole universe of sensations that are coming to you, that are filling in consciousness with the body. And you might notice, okay, that you have a habitual shutting down of certain experiences. And we don't have to fight with that, but it's useful to notice, oh yeah, I let it all in. And then immediately when I sort of stop, my attention wanders, this part of me shuts down again, or I stop wanting to experience that. In another meditation, you might actually intentionally sort of explore that area. Today, we'll just keep doing a global letting in, right? Let in any emotions now that are in the body. So any emotions that you feel in the body, not in the mind yet, just letting in the sensations that are associated with emotional quality. Let's just start with the positive emotions. Just let in any happiness, pleasure, any contentment or safety or peacefulness. Just let that into experience. Is there a part of your body that feels okay, feels good, feels nice, feels content, feels satisfied? Let me see. Are you pushing that away? Are you ignoring that? We're staying with these emotions for now because they have a quality. If you really let in a positive emotion, they tend to spread into your experience. It's like they fill awareness in the way other emotions don't, other sensations don't. If you hear a car horn out in the street, you can feel the whole car horn. You can really let it fill your experience, but then it's gone and it disappears. But if you feel into peace and let it into your experience, and you really don't resist it, it will tend to spread. And we just let that happen if it does. It tends to change our experience. This is one of the secrets you learn in this path is that in the short term, in the moment, our difficult emotions like anger and fear can seem very, very strong and overpowering. But in the long term, the positive emotions are just persistent. And if you let them in, they tend to last, tend to spread, tend to affect everything, and tend to open you to more and more experience of safety. It's okay if you're not feeling a lot right now. That's fine. We're just letting it in. We're letting that possibility in. Peace, contentment, safety, anything like this. Love, compassion. Those are the bigger ones. Are you feeling any love now? Joy, even ecstasy. Is there any ecstatic experience? Because we think in dualities, when we let positive in, our mind will immediately start contrasting it with the negative in our experience. And that's okay. We're just going to let that in too. And so we let in any parts of us that are resisting compassion or peace or holding out against it. And we let in now any other emotions that might be there that we might think are more difficult. The closest to the positive emotions that we often think of as negative is sadness, or grief is a little harder. It's really just a half step away from peacefulness and love. We can let in any fear, anger, but also all the spread of emotions that don't have names. Things in between, like jealousy and trepidation, right? We don't need to know a name for it. We just notice that there's some parts of our body that have emotion. So now we're really letting in the whole body. There's really nothing about it that we're not letting in, or at least opening to the possibility of letting in. And just sort of, again, sit back and see if you can take from head to toe, from fingertip all the way into the innermost spaces of the body, the little nooks and crannies between the organs, into the bones themselves. Are we letting it all into our experience? Letting it in doesn't mean we're examining it or we're not resisting it. We're letting it arise. Now, one thing you could get caught up in a meditation like this is you're trying to let in, and then you feel like, oh, I'm not letting in over here. And then you feel like I'm not letting in over here, or there's resistance, or there's something uncomfortable that you're just let it all in, including the resistance to letting it in. That just means let yourself not let parts of you think they're not letting things in. And you just let that into your experience. So you don't have to feel amazing or comfortable or like, or even that open, as long as you're allowing the experience you're having right now into consciousness, into awareness. And if you're having trouble with the meditation, then there's almost certainly an emotional tone to that. What emotion is arising because the meditation is difficult? Or even what emotion is arising because the meditation feels good? You just want to notice every level of experience, all the reactions and reactions to reactions. And ultimately, we can't totally catch all that unless we add in the whole mind as well. So you just let in your mind. You let in all the talking that's going on. You let in all the images that are going on. So you might be imagining your body. You might be daydreaming about something else. You might be thinking about this meditation and talking about it to yourself, or thinking about something else going on in life, or judging yourself, or whatever. So you just let in the mind. We can think of it as sort of the space of the brain for most of us is where we'll think we're going to see pictures or hear sounds between the ears, behind the eyes. So we're just letting in the brain if we haven't already. The physical brain, but also all these little movies that the brain makes. But then I want you also to let in the experience of being a person who is trying to meditate. Just make sure you're noticing that. Let into your awareness the experience of being a person right now, of being a meditator. And that means the person who might be struggling, or the person who's enjoying it, or the person who's trying to figure it out, the person who's having the emotions or feeling the emotions. And what does it mean to let in a person? Well, it's worth exploring what that question brings up for you. But most of what we think of as a person is going to arise in our awareness in the form of other thoughts, pictures of ourselves, words about ourselves, especially ones that include the word I, or again, emotional feelings that feel really close to our center of who we are, of that really we are feeling the fear. And you trace these sensations, pictures, sounds, feelings, back towards the doer, the meditator, the thinker, the feeler, the self, the person who is here. So we let the person in. So this is a strange concept, but you let yourself into your experience. Have you been ignoring yourself in all of your experiences? You might have been. Even though you're almost certainly, like everybody else, very self-centered. Don't think of that as judgmental, just we're centered on ourselves. We think about ourselves a lot, but are you really letting yourself into your experience? The whole of yourself, just into your experience. Not something we figure out in psychoanalysis, or it's just what's here right now. There's a self here doing all this, thinking, experiencing all this. Are we letting this all in to our experience? So we let in the whole environment, we let in the whole body, we let in the whole mind, and then we let in the self into our experience. Yeah, this practice of letting it all in is a pretty advanced practice, really. It's also something that anybody can try. It's advanced in the sense that we're allowing ourselves to confront every possible place that we are blocked or resisting. And that's all meditation is really about. And it can take years to work through some of these habits. So don't struggle with this. Or don't worry if you're struggling with this. And see if you can just like let in that experience of struggle and see if that doesn't let you relax a little bit. But also some of you may notice a big experience of perspective change when you start to really let yourself in. And there's an even deeper layer to this. If you want to go, you can ignore this if you want. But we've let in everything that we're experiencing, every possible thing we could experience, including the experience of being here ourselves. And finally, we just want to make sure we let in non-experience. It sounds strange, but we want to let in non-being, things that aren't existing. One simplest way to notice this is we just want to let in the experience of things going away first. So we're letting in experiences, but these experiences are always changing and flowing. So first just notice that they go away. And just let that in. Let in the possibility that the emotion you're feeling might disappear or just change. Let in the experience of sound, like my voice, beginning and ending. Ooh, it went away into non-existence. Let in the experience of a thought in your mind, beginning and ending. It goes back into non-existence. Yes, it arises into existence and then it goes back. Everything's changing, everything's flowing. So we just allow this experience in of things going away. And including in all of this is the fact that the self goes away. And this will be hard to notice for most of us on the first little try, but maybe not. And maybe you'll get a sense of it either way. Whatever experience you're having of the self, it also is impermanent and changing. Every experience is. So you just see when you let in the self, also let in the disappearance of the self. So you let the self in, you let the existence of the self in, and then you let the non-existence of the self in. Or we can start with just the disappearing of it. And again, it just you might think the self's always there in a way, and that's true. But the very particular self that you're experiencing in this moment is changing and now it's gone. It's some different self. So we started by saying lots of meditation is about letting things go. And I said, well, today we're going to let things in. And now we've gotten to the point where we're letting in the experience of letting things go, including the self itself. And at the depth of this part of the practice, you start to let in non-existence, letting in absence, letting in that which isn't your experience. This sort of like you're going past the boundary of the sphere of inside the sphere is everything you're experiencing. Outside the sphere is everything you're not experiencing. And we're letting that in too. It's different than the stuff we're experiencing, obviously, or it wouldn't be. Eventually, you'll experience this dance between existence and non-existence, between things coming in and going out. And you can spend a lot of time in the non-existence part of things. When you get deep in meditation, but then as this manifests in life, you'll just start noticing the constant interplay between these two. That part of you that you think is just always here and is never going to go away, or that part of you that seems like it's never ending or persistent, it goes away all the time. And really, it never comes back. It's just something else that's sort of similar, and the mind decides to call it the same. And so we let in this experience of the ever renewing and ever disappearing nature of reality. Okay. And so when you're ready, you can just let yourself start to move your body and open your eyes. And you let in the experience of that, of ending a meditation. What if you really let in the experience of ending the meditation never ends. You can think about that paradox for a little while. And don't let it distract you while you're driving, but otherwise have fun with it. And give yourself a hug, and you can stretch and let your body enjoy itself a little bit. And look around your environment and let in that. We didn't do a lot of visuals. We let in the whole visual world, let in all the colors, let in all the light. Let it in right into your awareness. And let it go right into the self. And have a lovely day, Facebook. Thanks for stopping by. Have a lovely day, YouTube. Thanks